Tereshkova, Goodwill Ambassador for the UNIDO. We have in our beautiful panel 3 very important experts. Giovanni Olivia, CEO Matera. No? Mr. Giovanni is not here. Mr. Faisal, Mrs. Ferial Nis, Chairwoman of Bahrain Entrepreneurship Organization, the happiest country in the Arab world. Yes. And we have also Mr. Krunolav Riz, Chief Executive Officer of Lumen Spay Ltd, and Mr. Ahmed Yahya, Founder and CEO of Eco Nubia. For the start, we have a keynote speech by Professor Pietro Loriano, the Director of IPOGA, Traditional Knowledge Research Center. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes. It's working?
It's working. So, distinguished guests, excellencies, dear ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor for me to start this session devoted to the digitalization on trade route for the small and medium enterprises, and we'll discuss also the roles of creative entrepreneurship and so-called orange economy. So what it means, the orange economy. We have all known that there is a green economy, the traditional economy, and what is the orange economy? It is the economy which is based on the creative activity of people, based on the digitalization and technology. And in this case, what we are living now, we are living in the era which is so-called the 4th Industrial Revolution. And today's world is passing through a significant change, which is similar to the changes when there was starting the plants and factories. And as a result, people moved from agricultural areas to cities and towns. When in the life of people there appeared the electricity, and it significantly changed the life of everybody. Then there was an era of mass production, and today we are passing through a 4th industrial revolution. The digital technologies come to the life of any business in the world. On the one hand, the digitalization provides great opportunities for everybody. But on the other hand, there are some forecasts that up to a half of today's working places, which are existing working places, can be automated by the digitalization. And the role of SMEs, what gives the digitalization to smaller and medium enterprises? Opportunities to apply new payment methods, opportunities to sell and buy online. But what else? This is the key topics that I would like to have in our discussion, and how, based on the experience of our honorable speakers, we can understand what is the heritage-based economy, what is the creative-based economy, and what digitalization gives to small and medium enterprises across the globe. And I am glad to give the floor for the keynote speech to Professor Pietro Loriano. The floor is yours.
I am sad to not be there with you. I give you a sample of my enterprise, Ipogea. Ipogea meaning underground. It's an enterprise that we founded in Matera. Matera is in the South Italy. I try to share my screen to show you some picture of this wonderful I don't know, I don't arrive. Sorry, but perhaps I don't arrive to share my screen. I go on without picture. This experience in Matera is very interesting because we founded a company to restoring a city of South Italy, Matera, that was completely abandoned, was completely destroyed because people lived in the cave, and after the First World War, the state, the Italian state, decided that Matera was a shame for Italy, and all people was obliged to abandon the city of Matera. In the 1993, I came back in Matera. I went to live in the cave. I restoring the cave, and I proposed Matera in the UNESCO to describe the UNESCO inscription. You have to imagine that Matera was completely abandoned, condemned to underdevelopment. The people went away. But with the UNESCO inscription, people come back in Matera. We demonstrate that lived in the cave, cope with the cave, it was a way to live in sustainability with the environment, using passive architecture, using natural climatization, save the water, and using circular economy. This is very important because today combat the climatic change, achieve the United Nations Development Goals is not only an opportunity for enterprise, but is also a necessity because we are in debt with the environment, we are destroying the resources of the planet, we creating the collapse of ecosystem, and with this debt is not possible to achieve development. We need to change the paradigm of development. We need a new model, and the enterprise can find a new solution to achieve the United Nations Development Goals, to create a new economy based on sustainability. In our case, Ipogea started to inventory all the traditional knowledge created in the time to build and to create Matera. System to captation of water, system of natural and heritage product for the restoration, protection of the ecosystem, and with the support of UNESCO, we create a data bank of traditional knowledge, an inventory of all the knowledge of the place. This kind of knowledge are very important and can be used today with innovative solution. The innovation of tomorrow is based on the knowledge of the past, of the tradition of the people. Using the tradition of the people, we can create a new innovative technology, advanced technology based on sustainability. This is for us very, very important. We create a World Bank of traditional knowledge. A World Bank not of the money, but of the knowledge. This is a bank online, on internet, it's free, all people can see the knowledge necessary to create activity, to restoring ecosystem, and all people can also insert knowledge. Shared knowledge is very important, and we use this system of shared knowledge, or inventory knowledge, to create a new project of sustainability. We're restoring in the desert of Sahara, in Arabia, in Emirates, oasis. We recreate water in situations where water there were not, and we propose many projects that recreate the ancient ecosystem in harmony with the environment. I think that these will be the solutions for the future. Now, with the ecological transition, many investment will be done in European countries. We need that this kind of investment are directed to a new vision, to restoring the ecosystem, to renaturalize the environment, to permit to live in harmony with nature, to clean the water of the river, to clean the water of the sea. These are all challenges that new enterprises based on knowledge can solve, can on this kind of knowledge can base the perspective of new model of creative orange enterprises. I think that the real value is knowledge, the real value is culture. We have to inventory the knowledge of the past, the knowledge in all the place, how the people lived in harmony with the ecosystem of the place, and we can repropose this knowledge in an innovative way. A data bank, an internet system to share the knowledge, a Wikipedia of the knowledge, of the respect of the place can be very important for new projects, new solutions, to realize new creative enterprise based on this kind of topic that is the restoration of our ecosystem today. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Professor. And you have raised the very significant topics that the orange economy can be based on the traditional knowledge and adaptation of this traditional knowledge to the up-to-date technologies, to making the availability of traditional knowledge, traditional designs, traditional way of thinking to the modern reality. That is the key basis of the orange economy, the key basis of creativity and mental activity of people to create something new. And as a result, on a global level, the creative industry, creative economy, grows significantly faster than the global economy as a whole. Based on the United Nations Trade and Development Agency, it was the average growth of the creative economy is up to 15% per year. It is significantly faster than the global economy as a whole. And in creative economy, people will have jobs, not only now, but also in future. And creative economy is based on heritage, is based on art, and based on the modern technology, and includes such sectors as fashion industry, architecture and design, etc., 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 including gaming, including branding, including PR, including marketing, and other activities which cannot be realized without the creative activity of people. And the creative economy, orange economy, traditionally goes very closely to the tourism industry. And Mr. Ahmed, you have a great experience in the field, and in our panel you represent the traditional heritage-based industry. So, based on your experience and from your vision, and please tell us some words about your experience in the field and how do you understand what are the opportunities and threats related to digitalization for small and medium enterprises, and how the traditional value chains can be modified based on the technology.
Thank you, dear Veronica. Good morning, everybody. So our business model is based on what we call it sustainable tourism. Sustainable tourism is about visiting natural places, involving local community in the ecosystem of the tourism, and securing jobs and financial income for the local communities out of the tourism cycle, and rewarding the nature by delivering some of the revenues back to the nature to protect the nature. So this is quickly what sustainable tourism is about. We build eco-lodges, eco-friendly hotels, and we involve local communities in the process, in the operations. They are the host, and they introduce their own cultural heritage in these eco-lodges. The thing is, how can the guest reach these destinations? Because these destinations are considered SMEs, small and medium enterprises, run and operated by the local communities. So the digital world is the carrier for us to use in order for the guest to get to know how to reach these eco-lodges or eco-destinations. The problem with tourism in the old days, it was a B2B business, business to business, like dominated by tourism companies. Currently, I'm sure lots of you who's sitting here can get into the internet, do all the reservation, whether flight, whether reservation in a hotel or an eco-lodge, and even the activities and the itineraries, everything is online right now. And this is a major change in the sustainable tourism, because sustainable tourism cannot grow without this carrier. We cannot depend on the tour operators or tourism companies. We would like the guests to reach us directly. And this is why digitalization made a huge change for sustainable tourism. The nice thing about sustainable tourism, it is fulfilling the SDGs of the UN, Sustainable Development Goals. When we start mapping the activities of sustainable tourism to the 17 goals of the SDG, we found that sustainable tourism cover more than 11 out of the 17s of the SDGs. So that's why we care about promoting sustainable tourism worldwide and using the digitalization world for our benefit in order for the guest to manage to reach our destinations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And based on your experience, sustainable tourism, digital opportunities for clients, and what about the crisis, about margins and business opportunities for SMEs?
I think this is a completely green field for people to step in, which is the digital world of tourism in general. We all know Booking.com, TripAdvisor, Airbnb, and all these platforms, but these are international platforms. What about a platform that specifically focus on ecotourism or sustainable tourism, or a platform per country where it promotes the eco destinations of each country? Lots of SMEs can appear in that field. And the nice thing is, who doesn't have heritage? Every country in the world have their own heritage. Even inside the country itself, you can see lots of heritage, like South are different than the North, East different than the West, and so on. And based on heritage, based on local community who adapt that heritage, we can build a business around that. And you know what? Tourism these days is focused on this destination. Like, nobody would like to go to a 5-star hotel anymore. They would like to have an experience with the local community, to eat their own food, to try their traditions, to try their music, customs, and so on. So I think there is a huge potential in terms of demand, lots of demand toward the sustainable tourism field, but not enough supply in terms of destination and in terms of tools who cover the link between the guest and the destination. So that link, so many SMEs can appear in that atmosphere.
So thank you very much. I think you have given an absolutely practical advice to people who are listening to our discussion, that there is a huge potential for developing his or her own business in this field. And in the field of ecotourism, in the field of services, the entry barrier to the creative economy is comparably lower than, for example, in big industrial manufacturing companies and so on. And why we are talking about the orange economy? Why we are talking about its creativity? First of all, because these industries, they make a great input to the global economy. Even today, the creative industries and creative economy gives to the global GDP, global domestic product, global economy, bigger input than the economy of India. And even now, creative industries give to the world economy more working places than automotive industry of the Western Europe, United States of America, and Japan together. More working places even today. And creative economy gives opportunities, as we already have listened from our speaker, gives opportunities for smaller, medium enterprises across the globe. And it's beneficial for women, for youth, and for different, diverse categories of people across the globe. And my next question I would like to address Mrs. Farrell Nas. So, and what is based on your experience? Please tell some words about your activity, first of all, and then please, based on your experience, how do you think, which are the new opportunities and which are the new threats addressed to the SMEs related to the digital economy?
Thank you, Veronica. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to all of you. First of all, if you allow me, I would like to thank His Excellency Dr. Hashim Yunido Head in Bahrain for inviting me to be part of this conference. And I'd like to congratulate the WEIF for the big success for this amazing conference, and to congratulate the government of UAE for putting the whole globe under one roof. This is an amazing venue, and I'm very honored to be here with you today. Veronica, we are living in the digital era, and there is no way back. The pandemic brought the future for us closer. We were talking about digitalization, that we will do it in the future, but we were forced to start it immediately during the pandemic. We are talking, the whole world is talking about smart cities, we have e-governments. The digitalization it's a lifestyle for everyone, I think, around the globe these days. When it comes to SMEs and entrepreneurs, we as entrepreneurs, for sustainability and for continuing this market, you need to digitalize, and you have no other way back. If you don't digitalize, sooner or later your business is gonna die. It's a fast era, it's a digital era, and using digitalizing solutions and IT solutions in your transforming your whole business to digitalize everything in it, and all your process will give you growth, will sustain your business, will give you more productivity. And through our organization as Bahrain Entrepreneurship Organization, our main pillars in this organization is to innovate, train and digitalize, excel and grow to the global market, and get the benefit from smart finance. As a qualified angel investors, a certified angel investors, the WBAF, we as well access to smart finance for startups. one of the main pillars that any investor would look into a startup pitch is the tech aspect in their business. So digitalization is a must today to benefit from what's coming, and today it is the era of smart finance, by the way. We have no way back. The biggest challenge for any startup is the access to finance, and access to smart finance is angel investing, and angel investors will not look at any project if it doesn't have the tech aspect. So I think this will give you a short thought of what I think about digitalization for startups and SMEs. And maybe later I can say what we did in the BUU.
Yes, and Mrs. Nas, I know that you are deeply involved into developing such an important industry topic of women's economic empowerment and women's entrepreneurship. And the orange economy gives additional opportunities for all the women across the globe, mainly due to two, from my point of view, two globe sectors. First of all, during the last 20-30 years, the housekeeping was automated on a big percentage, on a big share. And as a result, there are research results that nowadays a woman who has a business or who has a job, she in reality spends with her children, communicating to her children, more time than a housewife 30 years ago. That is the new reality. And at the same time, digital technologies significantly boosted the development of women's entrepreneurship across the globe, as it gives an opportunity for a woman to combine business activity with regular family commitments. And so you are deeply involved into women's economic empowerment. And what is your vision on how the SDG 5, the gender equality, can be realized through using the instruments and trends of the digital economy, and what gives the digitalization to women's entrepreneurship in particular?
Thank you, Veronica. Of course, I mean, digitalization, it is the easiest way, I think, for women. It saved a lot of time, it saved a lot of energy from any woman from doing her other roles in her life. During the pandemic, we as BEO, and I am as the chairwoman of the Bahrain Entrepreneurship Organization, maybe we have conducted and accomplished more and lots of conferences during the pandemic because of the digitalization aspect, which is through Zooms. We have run so many roundtables, so many conferences, and they were really very effective because they were to the point, and we were also doing our other roles in our lives as mothers, as wives. We are all having our families. So this didn't stop us from developing, this didn't stop us from managing our businesses, it didn't stop us from empowering other women with us and engaging other women with us and startups with us. So I mean, I don't think we have any, if I may say, excuse today to develop and excel. We have the tools. We can be connected with the whole globe in seconds. I have run different roundtables, maybe in front of 180 countries through the WBF. I have managed the MENA Chair Angel Investors Week and dealt with so many countries in the same minute while I am in Europe. So I mean, we can be connected, we can be engaged, we can do business together. Today, this is the new era, and we need to develop and capitalize on that and excel from that as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As the women's economic empowerment so much discussed on different platforms in many parts of the world, it is not only the issue of human rights and human equality, it is also an issue of economic growth and welfare. Because based on the forecasts, the full involvement of women into the economy would provide to the global economy an opportunity to add one more economy of the United States and one more economy of China. So it is a great, huge potential, and the digitalization and development of the orange economy gives women across the globe the opportunity. And you have mentioned a very significant topic, that the role of communities, the role of effective networking plays a great role in these areas. So how to distribute knowledge, how to distribute technologies, and how to distribute the new way of being, new business models, new opportunities. Krunoslav, upon us, you are real representatives of the digital sector, and you have great experience in the field of technologies. So based on your experience, what gives new technologies to SMEs? And please give some great examples in the field.
Okay, good morning to all. Now I have the challenge. After all this wonderful thing about economy, tourism, women empowerment, it's really hard to compete with that. It's really hard. But
we should cooperate. We should not compete, from my point of view. We should cooperate.
It's really hard to impress. But okay, let me try. We heard a lot of words, buzzwords like digital transformation, digitalization, digitation, but we didn't explain what is what. So let me go back to the basics. First, if we are going to move from analog process to the digital process, we call it digitation. And then, when we have all the data utilized, for example, an Excel spreadsheet, on documents, Word, PPT, printers data, then we call those data digitalization, digitalized data. So next step in the process is digital transformation, when we gather all those data and try to combine them to get better customer experience. And we call it digital transformation. It's the change of the mindset, it's the change of the knowledge, and it's change how we operate business. It's based on personalization, it's based on the security, it's based on the big data and Internet of Things. This is all the new things that it came around 15 years ago till now, and that we are utilize those tools, that we can make small, medium entrepreneurship much more better than 20 years ago. So why? Why is like that? Because in today's world, every single person can be an entrepreneur and can conduct any kind of the business, retail business, online business, creative industry business. Because if you are working with computer, you are working with IT, you are doing the creative work. Why is that? Because you want to tell the world how you are different to the rest of the people. So, 10 years ago, we didn't have some kind of business models that we are having now. For example, drop shipping. If the people or entrepreneur is in Europe and he is selling online things that is produced somewhere in the other part of the world, the people who is buying from that person via online channels, direct channels, social media, web shops, can even know where the product is coming from. So this is the direct communication between the factory and consumer by cutting the middleman. This is the one point. The second thing, for example, I heard some nice thing about the building eco-friendly lodges. So why is that? It's the building a new perspective and new consumer things that they want to achieve. For example, how is like that? I like to travel. I really like to travel all over the world. And I don't want to come to 4-star hotel and 5-star hotel and try the food that I'm eating every single day in Europe. I want to try something new. And how I can this achieve? For example, yesterday in Dubai, I googled for top 10 restaurants and I get top 10 restaurants based on the recommendation of the other people. So this is one channel of the sales. It's a marketing by mouth, but in online way. By creating the metadata, and what is a metadata? This is the data about the data, where someone will tell that something is good or something is bad, something is 3-star, 4-star, or it's good service. So those all things bring us to the next big thing, which is currently under production and under development in all major companies in Europe and across the world, which is called a new channel of the sales. It's called the omni-channel. And that omni-channel put the customer first in the perspective, and all direct channels are connected to those people. For example, we have the seamless integration of the services where we can conduct one service on our mobile phone and finish that service on, I don't know, in the branch office, on the website, on ATM, or whatever. 10 years ago, we couldn't do that because we didn't have technology for doing that. So, IT is just an asset, just a tool in creative minds of the people all around the world. So if you can imagine it, you can build it.
An interesting idea was raised that there is a new sector on creating data about the data. And I would very much appreciate if our other speakers will comment this idea. Is it a space in the businesses for creating data for data and create new technology? All of you were so positive about the digital technologies are so good. You were all speak about the opportunities. But please tell at least some words about threats, because it is so positive. But that for me it is hard to believe in it. So it is absolutely positive. Or there are some options which gives an opposite side, as in reality.
Okay, I can maybe try to reply on that. The first and biggest threat is the security. It is much more easier today to steal someone's digital identity over the internet. It is much bigger threat by stealing some of your personal property if you are leaving your personal details online. For example, you travel to Dubai on the conference and you post it on your Facebook or your Instagram or whatever social network you are using, and then the burglars or the bad guys know that you are not in an apartment. The apartment is not secured. It's the second threat. Third threat is the competition, because you can today work with the entire world, but entire world also can come to your town and city and work with your clients directly by offering a better service. So,
Mrs. Nasser, do you have any ideas about the threats related to the digitalization?
I can't add more on the expert, but I would say I will also add that hackers, cybersecurities, maybe missing the physical contact with your clients. There are few challenges that can, or threats that can affect us, but I think the positive part is bigger to me, as long as we are very careful, especially with the hackers and cybersecurity.
And Mr. Ahmed, do you have any ideas about the threats related to the digital economy, related particularly to SMEs?
There is a movement these days for the fintech and health tech and pure tech, and lots of startups are focusing on that. But the thing is, if everybody's going towards that, not everybody will reach the goal of being a big company one day, like Facebook or something, or Google. So many people sacrifice or challenge themselves a lot in the journey and reach nothing. So that's a huge threat if everybody decided to go with the mode and implement something related to digitalization. So we need to diversify the startups. Not everybody need to be in the digital world. Some people would need to work in industries. Some people need to do startups about agriculture, about tourism, about so on. So this is one threat in terms of the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. This is a threat. The other threat is not everybody knows how to use the digital world. So if I'm talking about local communities in remote areas where we help them to build eco-lodges and sustainable tourism, they are not familiar with the usage of digitalization. So they always need a facilitator with them who can understand the digital world, handle the digital world, and then give them the information as a piece of paper, and then they can start operating what they do.
Thank you. It is, I think, a very interesting topic raised, and now we have some minutes for your questions and answers. As we have discussed previously, we would very much appreciate if we have an opportunity to speak to the audience and not to be just be on the stage.
If I may add, that through the Bahrain Entrepreneurship Organization during the pandemic, we launched an e-platform for Bahraini entrepreneurs and startups to list their businesses during the pandemic as a support from the organization. And now we are, which helped them a lot as well. It helped them as it served as an e-commerce platform for them, especially with the startup who doesn't have websites. And I wanted to mention that. And we are also in discussion to list this e-commerce, and we called it Bahrain Souk. And we are into the discussion of listing it with an international portal that has more than 2,000 women entrepreneurs, which can engage the Bahraini entrepreneurs with them. I wanted to mention that as well, Veronica. Thank you.
We would take questions from the audience.
Some questions, so please.
Okay. Yes.
Hi, my name is Raya Khatib. I own. Can you hear me now? Okay. My name is Raya Khatib. I'm an entrepreneur from Jordan. I make soy wax candles. I'm a bootstrapper, so I'm still in the basement. And our soy wax candles are more than just candles. And I'm trying to get that across. So you guys were talking about digitalization and how we can implement it to certain businesses. Like my business is more industrial, as you said. However, I would like to include more tech so that it's more relevant and I can be more global. So that's one question. How can I do that? My second question is to Ms. Firia. Do you take other entrepreneurs depending on nationality, or would you take a Jordanian under your wing? And that's my question.
Thank you for your question. Maybe I will answer the second part and I'll leave the first part for the experts. Well, as Bahrain Entrepreneurship Organization, I mean, we are engaged already with other entrepreneurs from the MENA region and through the WBF. So we do have the network of engaging other entrepreneurs. So we will be more than happy to have a talk with you and engage you with us. Thank you.
Okay, regarding the technological stack, first of all, you or we or consultant needs to see what is your goal, what you want to achieve in 1 year time, in 3 year time, in your 5 year time, how to scale your business. Then you need to decompile your business into small processes and to see what kind of processes can be digitalized and how you can offer them on those services online or over the mobile phone on the market directly. I currently don't know your business model, but you need to adjust your business model on the scaling up on the entire world or on the region what you have. We can maybe discuss a little bit later directly. Bro.
Yeah, and I would like to add about that. So you are in the business of handicrafts, and the business of handicrafts is growing greatly in the region. Because it's part of what we do. Is sustainable tourism is about local community, as I mentioned, and the local community, what they do with their heritage is they provide food heritage, they provide handcrafts, they provide music, they provide dresses, and so on. So when we try to market that, the thing is, we found that the domestic people of the country can actually be enough for us in the beginning phase to scale up. So you might focus on the Jordanian themselves if you can reach them in the beginning, and then it will help you to scale. The thing is, I think we are the other side of the coin for globalization. We are not in the globalization field, we are in the localization field. So now we encourage people to focus on their own heritage. I don't want somebody to come to an eco-lodge in Egypt and have the same experience for an eco-lodge in Jordan or an eco-lodge in Saudi Arabia. It should be completely different experience because it's based on heritage and based on locals. So we cannot be the chain of Marriott one day, because Marriott, if you got into Marriott in States, it's the same in Egypt, it's the same in Jordan, it's the same in Italy, and so on. So we don't encourage that. We encourage localization because this is what the guest is looking for right now. So if you are providing candles with Jordanian heritage print on it, or the art of Jordanian is there, so people would care about exploring that, because this is part of uniqueness of Jordania. So you might focus on that, and then this will grow your business one day, inshallah. This is my input. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Marleen. I'm from Belgium and I have a business here. I know from your talk yesterday, sir, that you're very, very adamant about digitalization and everybody should do it and stuff like that. And I applaud your initiative, ma'am, for helping the women entrepreneurs in Bahrain. And I understand that Facebook is really a minimum, you know, or on social media to promote your business. But sir, please, what is the minimum for an SME? And I put the emphasis on S and small, the starters that have no money. What is the minimum that they should invest in or look for investment?
Okay, the minimum it will be the website. You need to start to have your digital identity online. Why? Because everyone that search something, service, product, what are you doing, you need to have your digital presence that it can be easily found. Second thing, you can use free tools for building web. You can use free tools for the social media. You can use the free tools for digital marketing and campaigns, online campaigns, that you can do by your own in someone in your company. And that person will not spend more than 1 hour daily to do that, just to promote your business online. This is something that you third thing, you have newsletters and campaign with newsletters, which is also free. For example, for 10,000 newsletters that it can be seen monthly, you don't need to pay anything with some service providers. So there is a lot of tools that you can utilize today that you can promote your business and scale it across the European Union, because you told me that you are inside Belgium. Okay, the third thing, you need to involve some kind of payment gateway that it can be easily paid online, and you can also have the for free payment gateways that it will accept credit cards and debit cards, PayPal and whatever, and I don't know, SMS payment. This is also can be done for free, or maybe under 1% per transaction. Third, you need to make delivery. This is the third component of your business, and you can make a contract with the delivery service, logistics service, that you don't need to actually to pay in advance nothing, but in that moment that someone order and purchase something from you, your website, then it will be money taken. Thank you.
We'll take two more questions, please. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Puti from Zambia, Southern Africa. I've recently, or rather, I launched a payment application as well as saving application called Save Oramet, which is stationed in Zambia. We're currently on Play Store and other platforms, and we do have quite some traction in terms of clientele from saving groups that are leveraging on the platform for savings as well as for payments through mobile payments and e-commerce. But my question to the panelists is, are you looking at, or how possible is it that you can offer some form of assistance in terms of capital injection, networking, marketing to startup businesses that are looking to find their place in the current digital economy from your organizations? And also, I leverage more, or rather our company leverages more on women empowerment, and also targets the rural areas as well as the urban areas in Zambia, and looking to expand the southern sphere. So how possible is it that you will aid such businesses in sub-Saharan Africa? Thanks.
Thank you for your question. I just want to clarify. Are you trying to pitch your business in front of investors? Is that your question?
In summary, yes.
Yeah. So we do have through the World Business Angel Investment Forum, we do have an annual congress, and there is a global fundraising stage that more than 3,000 startups from around the world apply for, and we select almost 100 or 150 startups to pitch their businesses in front of global investors. So you can, maybe if you can share your contact later on, we can send you an invitation to apply for that global fundraising stage, and you might be lucky if you are ready and digitalized. Thank you.
One last question, please. Yeah, go ahead. It's not working. One mic. Working? Try again? Yes.
Ms. Veronica, you have emphasized on the threats, but maybe the threats are the opportunities. And this is a great opportunity for the SMEs, whether it is security or changing the documents into digital. Today, this is a very important and easy thing to do. It's not expensive to do. And I think it opens a lot of opportunities for women as well and SMEs. And one more thing regarding digitalization, that for women, for multitasking, it's a tool, and also it doesn't need muscles, and you can work 24/7 at your convenience. But maybe Ms. Ferian, you can explain to us more about this subject, about how the SMEs can make use of the digital era from the threats to create opportunities.
So thank you very much for such a great input and such a great idea that even the threats related to digitalization are opportunities. And the last question, please.
Yeah, one last question, please. Go ahead, madam.
My name is Benedicta Nanyoga from
Go up. Yes.
From Uganda. I appreciate all what we have gained from Bahrain. As SMEs from Uganda, I was working in the central bank, and when I retired, I started my own job by collecting used straws on the street in the town. People were laughing at me, but me, I didn't care. and I continued making product, unique, durable, washable product from the used straws. But our problem is a straw pressing machine to press the straw flat and straight. At the moment, we are using local knife, which makes our fingers pain. Kindly, if anybody knows somebody who can design a straw pressing machine for us, we have been looking for it for the last 10 years. I will be appreciating. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comment. And digital era gives, as we have understood, a great potential and opportunities. The pandemic COVID-19 significantly boosted the digitalization process across the globe. And we all learned how to use new tools, new opportunities, and we have modified our lives significantly. And I hope that each of you will give a new step, a new input to your own business and to your own opportunities to come to the digital era without threats, but using and applying all the opportunities provided. Thank you very much for our great speakers. Thank you for your input, and I also would very much appreciate to thanks to all the organizers of the World Entrepreneurial Investment Forum, and to, in particular, to UNIDA ITPO Bahrain, as an organizer. And I would like to thank our organizational and technical team for making this possible and visible. Thank you very much and good luck.